Oh, hello, PYBDers. Yes, that's your new name, PYBDer. Doesn't that just roll off the tongue? Welcome to this week's episode of Put Your Books Down. As you might have noticed, it's an encore presentation for the holidays. Natalie and I are taking off some time for the holidays, gonna settle in with the family, drink a little eggnog, do a little of this, a little of that. We hope you are too, and we hope you have a wonderful holiday season, and we'll see you in the new year. Meet Natalie. Natalie loves books.
This is your brain on books. Any questions? And this is Angela. She's a very serious jazz singer.
Shooby-dooby-dooby-doop-doop-doo. And sure, we both like to stay informed, but this world sometimes, am I right? You know what we need? 30 minutes of meditation.
Pop culture meditation.
So we're here to remind you.
We get it. You're smart. But right now, take a deep breath and put your books down. Put your books down. Take one. Action.
Action, Jackson.
I gotta get me one of these.
Me too. I need one for the house.
Just when I'm being dramatic, so
Me
I can
same.
pull it out and be like, you know what? And scene.
Exactly. That's what I want to do. That's exactly what I need it for. Oh my gosh, 100%. All right, you're gonna kick her off.
Okay. Hi. Hello.
Hi,
Angela.
Hi, everybody. Hello.
Welcome to Little Rock.
Thank you. So nice to be here.
It is so nice that you came for a visit.
I know.
Very grateful.
Yes.
How are you?
Well, I got up at 5 a.m. Went to bed at 12:45 last night. So got on an early flight. Went to the airport. Realized I forgot my credit card. Had to go back home. Yep. It was almost a divorce.
Yeah.
But we got through it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got here and I'm here. I'm here now.
You're
So
here.
I'm good. I'm a little tired. I'm not gonna lie.
Little Rock. We're very fortunate. I mean, I'm using that loosely.
Yeah.
That the airport's 10 minutes away.
Yes.
Like
yes.
you can.
It was very
it's
close.
Just really close.
Absolutely.
From Little Rock. So.
Yes.
I've had many a monkey dance on the way to have to turn around and go get something and do whatever, like stuff like that. But it's easier for us. But
Yeah.
I know you're really tired, but
But I'm a trooper because
You
we're
are a
together,
trooper.
and
Yeah.
we were like, we're together. We need to do a couple of
we
pods.
got to do a couple pods.
That's what we have to do. So
what we have to
we're
do.
live. This is like we're always live, but this is exciting because we're in
Right.
the same room together.
Yeah.
So we get to just like have a
We're
conversation.
sitting on the floor by a table
Yeah.
Leaning against the
At my
couch.
Airbnb.
at Angel's Airbnb. And Angel's having some Blanc de Blanc.
Blanc de Blanc, baby, brut,
And
floraison.
I'm having a classy Yeti cup with tequila and soda, and with my Patagonia. I'm really vibing out this Patagonia vibe.
I love
today.
it. I love that
Really doing
vintage
that.
Patagonia.
It's vintage.
Is it from like the 80s? You think like 85?
I think it's early 90s.
Okay, yeah, that does
I got
look
it
early
from
90s.
Our friend Alex Flanders' Crying
Weasel.
vintage a while ago. Anyway.
Cryingweasel.com.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
I think
I don't
so.
know. I don't want to give out the wrong number. I mean, web address.
I think that's right.
All right. Anyway. So, Natalie, tell us what we're talking about today, because this is a. It's almost Christmas, everybody. We swear to you that we're almost done with Christmas themed movies
This just
and
kind
whatnot.
of popped up, and it had to be. We had to do this, and well, I'll just give you some backstory.
Yeah.
You know the story, ish.
Okay, I don't know if I know the story.
Well, it was like 2 weekends ago, like 2 Sundays ago. Scottsville is not. There's no Christmas music. There's no Christmas decorations until after Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah.
Or Christmas movies. Now, I don't care about decorations. I love music and the movies.
Right.
Okay. So it was a Sunday, and we weren't recording that day, so I had this time I could watch a movie with him in the afternoon, like 4 o'clock. Anyway, and he was like, well, we can watch a Christmas movie. I was like, oh my God. I go, well, I'll give you 3 to pick from.
Yeah.
And one was Misery.
Yeah.
Because there's snow.
That's a Christmas movie. There's snow.
Well, there's snow.
Then by that, then it should be The Shining. Should also be a Christmas movie.
But I didn't want to watch that. If he had picked it, I would have been like,
yeah,
golly,
right.
I wasn't in the mood. It was Misery and Elf and A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
So, and then when I told him that I hadn't seen A Christmas Story since I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
So it's been 35 years
Yeah.
since I've seen that movie because that movie scared me so much.
It scared you?
Oh, we have so much to unpack.
Oh my gosh.
It did scare me, and I watched it again, and it was as if, and it was fun for Scott because it was like watching it with someone who'd never seen it because I remembered, the tongue on the pole, and
right.
I remember little bits of what had scared me, but I have not seen it in entirety. I had no idea what was happening or what was coming. I knew about the lamp. I knew about the like iconic type stuff,
right?
But I didn't remember the ending. I didn't remember most of this movie, and I have so much mixed anxiety and trauma from this terrifying, albeit comedic gold. This is I can't remember another movie that I feel so complicated about because while it's still absolutely terrifying to me, and we'll get into the nitty gritty, I was like, it's really funny and it's really well written, and that little actor Ralphie just really stole the show, and we need to get really into it. Now,
okay.
Was this always one of your favorite Christmas movies?
No, it was never one of my favorites. I, in fact, like many things we've talked about on the podcast, I don't remember like having this be a mainstay or a staple of my life at all. And in fact, I've watched it, a handful of times. I've probably watched it every year, but I never really paid that close attention to it. It's like kind of on, and there's just like that narrative going on, and like there's the Daisy rifle, whatever it's called.
Well,
thing.
I had like my phone down. I didn't look at my phone, except to text you like some parts that were happening.
Okay, so my initial reaction to this, I mean, everybody knows the Christmas Story, right? We don't need to set it up for people; they know.
So.
Okay,
yeah.
So my initial reaction to this is this movie is. It's fine.
Interesting.
And I was like, is this kind of like, how every year, have you ever had fruitcake? Like the kind that people give at Christmas?
Yeah, don't give me that.
I was like,
it's never moist.
To me, this is kind of like the fruitcake.
It's always dry.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's like nobody really loves it, but then again, I know that there's people who absolutely love this movie. Like,
well, they have trauma.
That's what I'm saying.
And
so then when you watch
it's really relatable as like a normal family Christmas. Like, right? Like these are kind of things that
I guess these people are kind of insane.
No, they're not kind of insane.
I mean, dad
first of all,
insane.
The dad, you're supposed to think that this 80-year-old man is 30.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's like it's not. And Scott said that since it was supposed to take place in 1940, that everybody looked older back then. I'm like, well, the mom doesn't. Okay.
No.
And no.
So it's pre-World War II.
Yes. Or during World War II.
Oh God. Okay. So yeah, I don't want to go totally Grinch on this.
I can Grinch out on it, but I think also I laughed really hard but the reason I laughed, like this movie is like reminded me of how I feel. Actually, I figured it out. It reminds me of the way I feel about American Psycho.
Okay.
Now, I love American Psycho.
Right.
I think it's brilliantly hilarious,
right.
But it's also really scary.
Yeah.
Like, I get that,
okay.
But that's how I feel about him. This is exactly how I feel about...
scary.
A Christmas Story is scary, but funny.
Explain to me why you think it's scary.
Like,
specifically.
How much time do you have?
I've got plenty. You told me, listeners, when I asked Natalie if she wanted to do the Christmas Story, she goes, I could basically write an essay on it. So, Natalie, I'd like to hear your book report now.
So, well, without, summarizing the movie for everybody. I don't know if that's necessary. I'm just going to pull out some really standout.
Yes.
Well, the reason I was scared of it from the beginning, and now having rewatched it, I can tell you all the reasons.
Okay.
But the ones I remembered was how scary the bullies were.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And that was scary. And then the visiting Santa. Uh-huh. Like how they're kicking these kids down the slide and throwing them down the slide, and the elf is terrifying, and Santa's mean, and like the line's crazy, and I just remember that face, the face of the elf, like he's so mean. That I didn't like that, and I also realized what I had blocked out.
Okay, what did you block out?
The part of this movie that reminds me of, quite frankly, of Deliverance.
Oh God.
Is it's so disturbing that my jaw, I couldn't talk. Like Scott's laughing, watching me watch this movie.
Yeah.
And I'm just shaking my head at So Ralphie has a little brother named Randy.
Right.
Randy is odd.
Yep. Something's up with Randy.
Something's up with Randy. And like he hides in the under the sink and stuff like that. And he doesn't like to eat his dinner.
Right.
And I love the mom in this movie. She's darling.
Yeah.
Like I think I love her clothes, and I love everybody's clothes in this. It's like Ralph Lauren chic. Like it's very.
Yeah.
I love all of Ralph. I would wear all of Ralphie's outfits.
Right. Yeah.
So she's trying to get Randy to eat his mashed potatoes.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And this scene it feels like it's about 1 minute, but it feels like 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's so scary because she's like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to make a pig sound, like snorting.
Oh my God.
And
I forgot.
she's like, put your face in your plate
and eat like
a piggy. And
yeah.
And they're snorting at each other, and I'm gagging.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he's got the mashed potatoes all over his face, and he's snorting like
yeah.
a pig. It was absolutely very triggering to that scene in Deliverance.
Okay. Yeah.
Which I did not particularly appreciate those vibes.
It's like a precursor. You're almost like, wow, I wonder if this is how he's going to turn out. He's going to turn out like one of those guys in Deliverance, maybe.
Well, I hope. I don't.
It could be because it's 1940.
Well, it's not really Randy's fault.
Deliverance takes place like
it's not
20
Randy's
years
fault.
later.
It's the mom's fault. She's the one that started this whole thing. Like started that bit. Their bit. It was a bit.
See, to me,
and it's disturbing.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's something I wrote down.
I was really upset.
Here's something
I'm really upset right now.
Something I wrote down in all caps. Child abuse. I was like,
so much child abuse.
This
movie is
child
full.
abuse.
The mom screaming on the phone. You can hear this mom beating her child for saying
because he
teaching
said
the F word. So when the kid says the F word, he also says son of a bitch too. Like this kid is hysterical.
Yeah.
And that whole plot line about saying the F word, like he said,
and the way
F
it's
word,
like, what?
and the way the whole family reacts to it, like that is so comedic. Like it was so funny.
Yeah.
But then and this kid Ralphie and Randy, they're so afraid of their father because they're so afraid of everybody because the teacher's even mean. Like the bullies are mean. There's so much abuse in this movie. And the friend is getting whooped by the mom because he got blamed for the F word. And even Ralphie's mom felt bad for tattling.
Yeah.
And it's just like screaming. Like the other end of the phone line is a child screaming. There's so much child abuse.
It's so much child abuse.
And even the Santa and the elf, they're kicking children in the face to get down this, throwing them down a slide.
Now, as we're sitting here talking about this, I'm howling with laughter. Like, but when I was watching it this last time, I was like, ugh, this is just too much. Ugh.
Yeah. I was going through waves of that.
That's why I was like,
and then I would laugh really hard.
And then I was like, this is fruitcake. And then I'm like, wait, no, actually, there's a reason why people love this so much. It's dark.
It's dark.
It's
because
so
it's
dark.
Like a dark, real family, like actual family movie.
Right.
That you could be like, oh yeah, that's how it was at my house. Whatever.
Right. But if that was how it was
at your house, a
boomer.
Right.
A boomer could.
Yeah.
For sure.
Maybe it was.
No, they are
realistic.
Boomers. Well, they are boomers because this is like 1940.
It's a very realistic story in that way, and also that this dad wins this leg lamp.
The leg lamp.
Now, I want to believe that he's obsessed with it because it was a prize.
Right.
Because he won this crossword puzzle or some puzzle, and he was just really proud of his prize. Right. Wife's mortified.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
he's so proud of it.
He's so proud of it, but it's disgusting.
It's
but also hilarious.
It's hilarious.
It's kitschy. So that's the thing. I'm like,
kitschy.
In real, like she's mortified by it.
Yeah.
But I love that it's his prize that he got for this.
Yes.
Like, and this movie is from what year? Like
85.
Like
83.
What a smart Christmas movie. Like honestly, think about the writing of this movie.
I know.
It's really smart.
It is smart.
And this movie is hilarious. It's just super, super fucked up.
Yeah.
Like super duper.
Yeah.
And it is terrifying.
One thing, because this would not be put your books down if I wasn't getting ready to talk about hair.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Melinda Dillon, that's the person who plays the mother. Her hair in this film looks like she just went down to the Vidal Sassoon and got a perm and some layers put in.
And I want it.
And it's adorable, but it is not period.
It's not 1940.
It is not period appropriate.
No.
And I'm like, Why is everybody else like so in the
1940s
time period
out, and she's from
then
1984?
Yeah, I was
She's
like,
current.
what is that?
Her
Like,
clothes
that does
were
not
current.
work for me.
Her clothes were current. Her hair was current.
It was so odd to me.
They just didn't. They didn't follow through with her character development.
Or maybe she wanted. I can't understand that.
Her hair
at
looked
all.
way too good.
I know. I was like, what is this? It's like.
And then the teacher. Let's talk about the teacher. Let's also talk about the fact that maybe it was because I relate to Ralphie, like standing at his teacher's desk wanting like praise for something.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
he wants this gun.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
also get into gun control. He wants this BB gun.
I know.
And I'm like, that's cool. Like, get the kid a BB gun. Like, no doubt. Like, I'm not against that.
Right.
But I am. It's uncomfortable how passionate he is about this BB gun. But
But it's 1940.
it's 1940.
So
Like,
it's fine.
It
I get
adds
it.
up.
It totally adds
checks
up.
out.
Absolutely.
But he, writes this paper on his BB gun, and his teacher's like, and the whole running theme is, "You'll shoot your eye out." That's like one of the themes.
She starts, and the mom starts, they're sitting at dinner, and she's like, BB gun. You'll shoot your eye out. Like,
Yeah.
no. It starts off like real small, and then it just keeps going.
And then it
going.
keeps building, and then the teacher says it. And then the teacher turns into the Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah, it's
and
kinda-
cackling with the mom that's
Yeah.
in some other weird costume.
I don't know. Like,
I'm assuming the mom was snorting also maybe at that time.
yeah.
Because it's just scary. I also think of, okay.
Yeah.
Here's a point.
Yeah.
Misery, right?
Yeah.
Kathy Bates.
Oh, jeez.
The part in Misery where she starts snorting.
So this is
Like, she's like, you're just a little piggy, and does the snorting.
Okay. Yeah.
Terrifying.
Okay.
People that snort, like even for pigs sounds, I don't love it. I don't even like it.
People like that.
Oh,
He's like,
okay.
Sorry. You're like, you have to go home now.
No,
You have to go back to your place.
no, you're not going anywhere. But if people are like, what does a pig say? I'm always like,
Okay.
like with my niece or nephew, I'm
But
like,
remember-
what does a pig do? And they're like, or they
See-
do like a thing, and I'm always like, just say beep beep.
Yep.
Or like,
Yeah,
I don't
you
make
don't
the,
make that little
I don't
noise.
make the, I'll do the like.
Yeah. Speaking of piggies, did you know that, this little piggy went to market, this little piggy went home, this little piggy had roast beef, this little piggy had none. This little piggy,
I've heard of it.
Okay, this little piggy went to market means they went to market to get slaughtered.
Shit!
Right? Yeah. People don't realize that. Yeah, right? This little piggy went to market. This little piggy went
Not
home.
to go grocery shopping?
Nope, they weren't going grocery shopping. They went to market to become bacon. Yeah,
To die.
to become a ham.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay.
Well, hold on. One more thing about pigs. Now, remember when Jerry called Roman a little pig? Like, dirty little, what is it? Like a dirty little...
Dirty little piggy.
Yeah, this piggy thing keeps coming up on this podcast, Natalie. What is that about? It's just
I think we need to obviously have like a professional sit down with us and talk about that.
Yeah,
I
like
don't think
this
you and I
obsession with piggies.
We're not psychologically advanced enough. We need a therapist to sit down and break it down for us.
That's probably true. Okay.
But I think this movie is absolutely hilarious, and I love it.
Right. And
But
you're
I
right.
have to be in the mood. It's like being in the mood to watch American Psycho.
I think that's okay. That, you know what? I'm glad that you clarified
not
that
in the
for me,
mood.
because I wasn't in the mood, and also I was like, there's just too much yelling in this movie.
So much
There's too
yelling.
much hollering. There's too
I
much
had Scott
screaming.
there also to answer my questions.
Yes.
I
right.
paused a lot. I had so many questions. I was like,
'Cause also
now
you-
what the
yeah.
hell is that supposed to mean?
Right.
He's like, he's like, lighten up.
I think
it's just like,
that's
it's a
what it
dark,
is.
it's like the whole funny thing about this movie is that it is dark.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be. I'm like,
it's racist,
but
and
it's
dark,
also messed
too.
up.
Yeah, it is messed up.
It's
I
a
know.
totally messed up movie, but I mean, I think it was brilliant.
I know, and I feel
said
like
it.
I feel like it's been thrust upon us like every single year. Like they do the Christmas Story marathon, and it's like, you better like this movie. Like everybody thinks it's the greatest movie. I'm like,
You shouldn't watch it that much. Don't
You
watch
shouldn't
it
watch
that
it that much. I think I don't need
It's
to
not.
watch it.
It's not Christmas Vacation.
It's not, and it's also just, I don't think it's like your traditional Christmas movie, because it's
If you're not in the mood and
it's
you
not
watch it, you
giving
want to
you
get
good.
bummed out.
Yeah, it kind of bums you out.
Yeah.
The other thing I will say about this movie that is great is it is a great candidate, everybody, for just laying on the couch and watching it through your eyelids. Mm-hmm. Watch it through your eyelids.
If you're anyone but me,
yeah, I mean, if you just
does it have to be on mute?
you can't watch movies.
I can watch movies like that. Not that one.
Oh, okay, yeah. But you can. But you told me that you watched like psycho killer movies to go to sleep.
That was okay. It's 7,
seven.
and it's because there's raining the whole time. And usually I wake up
So
when sloth happens. and I turn it off.
Okay.
That is circumstantial.
Okay. I wasn't.
You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
I do fall asleep to true crime stuff, but it's because the narrator's like warm milk. It's not like loud.
Well, that's what
stuff.
I
It's
think.
like Forensic Files.
Yeah.
Humana, night. I mean,
Right.
I can listen to the intro and be like,
Yeah. It's like immediately.
yeah, or the Dateline intro. It's not a loud program, but like a lot of the, murder stuff. If it's like a bunch of guns and like loud, I can't do that.
No. I think that the reason why. So I tried to watch it this last time. I fell asleep.
Which one?
Christmas Story.
Okay.
I fell asleep. So then I was like,
It's really loud.
So then, but it's the narration. The narration puts me to sleep.
They never found out
storytelling.
who was the narrator. They won't say.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe our listeners know.
Something
Let's
about
not
the
have a mystery.
narrator,
Let's have it be a mystery. I don't know.
like older
it's
Ralphie.
It's like the Wilson.
Oh, I think it's
of-
actually the guy that wrote the book.
Oh, Gene something or other.
Something.
I don't know. So I watched it through my eyelids this time. And then today, since I knew we were going to be talking about it, it was obviously on the airplane, on the thing on
Of
Delta.
course.
Of course, it was on there.
Yeah.
So I watched it today on the airplane, but of course I was really sleepy. So what happened?
You fell
I
asleep.
fell asleep again.
So you've not watched it.
I haven't watched like completely all
So
the
you don't
way.
remember the piggy scene.
I do remember it from other times of watching
Do
it.
you remember the end?
I don't remember the end because I keep sleeping through it, and so you have to remind me what the end is.
Well, he accidentally.
He gets his eyes shot.
He doesn't.
Gene Shepard is the
Gene
is
Shepard.
the,
You're
is
right.
the narrator. Yeah, Gene.
Wow, Gene. You and Gene.
Thanks. Hey man, I just got it's like
You
this.
just throw out a name like Gene.
Oh yeah.
Pretty nice. Mm-hmm. Well, he doesn't. He almost shoots his eye out, but his glasses
Break
and like divert the
It's-
the BB.
It's
and he gets away with it.
He gets away with it, and it's so
Because
sad.
he's terrified that his dad's going to beat the living hell out
and
of him.
his mom is actually so nice to him
She's so
about
nice.
it. And he comes back and he's crying.
Yeah.
And it's actually
Oh,
one of the sweetest parts of this movie.
It is the sweetest first movie, and I forgot my favorite part.
Oh, yeah.
That made me laugh. I laughed for like 15 minutes. The part where he goes AWOL on the bully.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah,
he
yeah,
starts
yeah.
beating him. And the scene, it's like Will Ferrell, Saturday Night Live overkill. Like when they like overpunch.
Yeah.
And they just keep going and
Yeah.
going. I mean,
Yeah.
this kid went full ham on this
yeah.
bully. And there's blood going everywhere.
Yeah.
And then his mom had to pull him off. And I was like, this is funny.
Yeah.
So I love like they extended that scene to be it was like, most of the scenes would be like 2 seconds. No, it was like 2 minutes
Yes.
of Ralphie attacking this kid.
And
it was like he just like had enough.
Yes.
And this kid's screaming. It's more screaming.
Yeah.
But you're so happy about it. And then you just start laughing. And then at one point I was like, woo, woo, woo.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like,
Yeah.
get him, get him,
Yeah.
But that part, I was like, I looked at Scott. I was like, this movie's funny.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a good movie.
And you root for Ralphie to be able to do that. Like
You root for Ralphie.
He's bullied so much. It's like, oh my gosh, it could just go so dark so fast. But yes, you're right.
And he's also, Santa Claus kicks him in the face to get him to go down the slide because he froze and didn't ask him for the BB gun.
Right.
And his little brother was like parachuted out. Like all these kids are like, they're like shaking these children like rag dolls,
Yeah,
like to
yeah.
put on Santa's
I
lap,
know.
and they're so mean. They're just, that's those are like Santa Claus and the elf are real bad people.
Yeah.
Not even garbage person, like
Right.
a bad guy, like
Yeah.
a scary guy.
They're mean people in IRL and that are just dressed up in Santa's clothing.
And
so to
honestly,
speak.
I thought Ralphie should have been nominated for at least a Golden Globe.
Well,
I just did.
Peter Billingsley was his
He
name.
was fabulous. Now he's like a big writer and like he's real successful. But
They did a.
I love him. I love Ralphie. I think he was like a brilliant child actor.
He was on.
Talk about Riz.
He had the Riz. Remember, he was on that show That's Incredible, or was it That's Incredible, or People Are Talking? It was one of those two. I don't know. Natalie's like, I don't know, because I was like feral. Not feral. I was an infant.
I was a papoose.
You were papoose. You're just a little papoose.
Little papoose.
Natalie, we need to do a pit stop.
Yeah.
But we didn't really think of anything
We were
to
so
do.
excited
we were
to
so
see each other.
excited to see each other. We didn't even talk about it. But I'll just go ahead and make the sound. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me
Throw something at me.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll throw something at you.
Okay. I'm waiting.
What is your favorite? I would like to honor Bruce Willis, and because also of Die Hard is one of my favorite Christmas movies
Yes.
ever. But he's got dementia now, and I want to like let's just take a. And I just saw something about it on like Instagram or something. What's your favorite Bruce Willis movie?
Okay, well, I love Die Hard.
I love Die Hard.
I love Die Hard.
I love all of his movies.
Okay, but you know what I have a soft spot for, and it's not a movie, it's Moonlighting.
Yeah, love it.
I actually,
Loved it.
when we lived in New York and I didn't have TV because I didn't pay for cable, because I was like, why would I pay for cable? Because I'm never in my home.
Right.
You know, you don't watch TV. And like, did you ever watch TV that
My
much?
DVDs.
Yeah.
My friend's DVDs.
We're going to have to talk about your DVDs on the next episode.
Okay.
Okay. We have a very special DVD story.
Oh God, yeah, that was during the holiday. Okay,
Yeah. Anyway, I loved Moonlighting, and so I rented them all on Netflix when you could get DVDs sent to you, and so I watched all of Moonlighting, and now it's on one of the streaming services.
It's on Hulu.
It's either Hulu or HBO Max. I can't remember
Probably
which
HBO
one.
Max.
But you can watch all of Moonlighting, and you know what?
I need to do that.
It kind of holds up.
Really?
I mean, he's totally misogynistic, but that's what's so great about it.
But Bruce Willis is in most of his movies.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I think we've just been grown
But
accustomed
man,
to that. Like,
talk about. Oh, by the way, the word of the year is Riz.
it is.
And we mentioned Riz on our last episode, and it was like the same exact week that Riz came out as the word of the year.
It must have been because of our podcast.
It's because of our podcast. It's just taken
So,
over
you're
the
welcome,
zeitgeist.
World. Yeah, it's obviously it was heard on our podcast, and so they
Obviously.
were like, "Oh, well,
It was.
here you go."
It had been heard in a lot of places, but then the final thing that tipped it right over the edge was put your books down.
PYBD.
Exactly. Obviously.
We do what we can.
Hey, look, we're
Folks.
just trying to move the zeitgeist forward.
That's right.
Right?
Yep.
Get under people's skin, get in their brains, be mind stickers.
AI. I don't know.
Anyway, so what's your favorite Bruce Willis movie?
Well, Die Hard's up
It's up
there.
there.
Pulp Fiction. He was amazing in Pulp Fiction.
So good. And that was kind of like that role for him in Pulp Fiction. You're like, oh yeah, he's cast perfectly for this.
He is. He's also. I think he's like
And
been
he
really
was
well.
so-
I think I love Bandits.
Oh yeah.
I love Bruce Willis movies. Like
Mm-hmm.
if he's in it, I'm gonna watch. It's like how I feel with Nick Cage and John Travolta.
I don't feel that way about Nicolas Cage.
I don't think he can do anything wrong.
Oh, interesting. All right. Well, we'll have to put that on the back burner for another time.
You don't think he's entertaining as all get out?
Something about him gives me major anxiety.
Of course.
Oh, okay.
It's not. I'm not talking about like looks. I'm talking about his movies are so entertaining.
Yeah, okay,
He's like the
yeah.
he's like the
So-
lower budget Tom Cruise.
So, right. So even like the one about the thing where he does the thing and the famous one with the thing.
Face Off.
No, not that
Well,
one.
that's all of his. He's in everything.
What's
so
that one about? Like there's some ancient artifact.
National Treasure?
That one.
Fabulous.
Okay.
Fabulous.
You heard it here, folks.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Natalie, we're gonna have another discussion another day, and
Okay.
I just want to say to everybody, it's so nice. Thank you for listening to us.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. I've heard from so many people telling me that they listen to the podcast. Friends of mine in New York. Hey, Nish, if you're listening, hey. Hello to all of our listeners.
Thank you for
Thank you
listening
for
and
listening and
putting up
watching
with
us
us.
on the YouTube, even though we feel super gross. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Please subscribe to our channel. Subscribe to our podcast. Leave us reviews on Apple Podcasts because it helps us
Download?
to download them.
I almost said DVDs.
Download, subscribe, go on YouTube. The more you do that for us, the better we feel about everything, okay?
It's about us.
It's about us, okay?
No,
So-
it makes us be able to expand what it is, like our reach and what it is. That
Exactly.
what is it? We don't really know what we're trying to do. I don't know if
well-
we're really trying to do anything except entertain you guys.
We are trying to entertain, yes. Notice nobody gets any ads on our podcast.
Yeah.
They love that, by the way. They do love that. They tell me that. I don't have to fast forward through your ads. And I'm like, you're welcome.
Well, you're welcome that nobody wants to pay us yet. To do that.
Yeah, so
One
anyway,
day.
one day. Okay, so Natalie, to you I will say namaste in Little Rock for a few days and drink some wine with you in the flesh.
Namaste together.
Oh, yes, yes. Okay, love you too. Okay, everybody, bye. Now, isn't that better? Thanks for listening. Feel free to leave us a review and be sure to subscribe wherever you get your shows. Put Put Your Books Down is produced by ClantonCreative.com.